Good morning. This is day 23 of my speaking to a camera on YouTube for 30 days. We've got 30 minutes with me, 30 minutes of talking about stuff, unpacking stuff around the voice, unpacking stuff around expression on a camera, and whatever things about life unravel from here. I start these videos with no real intention other than to turn up and to free flow. This is to become better at articulating my thoughts, to telling stories, to connecting dots and being able to say them with enthusiasm. Noting any of the times that I have limitations in my head. If I feel like I don't want to talk about a certain topic, I'll bring that stuff up, and it's been a very good experience. It's been fun and it's been challenging in ways, and it's also been really rewarding. It's been super cool so far to do, like, have interactions with people, to have people on YouTube, people that I don't know yet, and it's super cool because I've been on social media for quite a while, social media, Instagram, Facebook, and the difference is that all of the people on there I know. Like I've met most of the people that I have on social media. It's a very different realm with YouTube because, well, I don't know anyone. And it's a new space. Super cool. And a lot of you have been enjoying these videos, so I'm going to keep doing them for the foreseeable future. And yeah, hope you enjoy today. What is the topic for today? We simply get out of our own way. Things can flourish. Life can flourish. We can become more loving, become more expressive, more passionate. We can start to speak about the things that we really love and start to create from a place of wholeness. Actually expressing you, who you are. I mean, that's all these videos are for. It's about being you. It's like if you are running a channel for cooking, it's you. You happen to be doing cooking. If it's myself doing these videos, it's myself doing YouTube. Like myself doing an activity. And at the core, it's always you. And so when you actually acknowledge what part of you is, if you know what part of that is you, then you can speak from I. You can speak from a place of understanding yourself and knowing who you are. This isn't this kind of knowing. It's like I have things like a musician, and I can say I'm a musician. That's me as the label musician. I put myself in a box, and that's okay because certain roles call for it. And if we view life as a movie or like a game, which I really love, then we can say, well, we're stepping into a character. We're stepping into this character, which is you, expressing itself. If you don't know who you is, then who's driving the thing? Your identity's driving. It's kind of like if you've played any games before. Imagine that the game character that you're playing is you, and all of your identities, all of your beliefs, and all of your conditioning, all of the things that you've learnt over the years, the things that you know, your knowledge and all of that stuff, it's sitting in this character. It looks a certain way, it sounds a certain way, It does certain things. It has certain like skills and and traits and all of these things. You might be better at doing combat and fighting in a game. You might be better at cooking. You may be better at doing something like buying and selling stuff. So who's driving? Who's driving this character? Well, it's you. You're on the keyboard or the mouse or on your phone. You're controlling that character. You're choosing where that character goes. You're like, okay, cool. Yep, we go here, we go here. What would happen if you removed you from that? The character wouldn't go anywhere, would it? You might have, I don't know, something sitting on one of the directional keys or the mouse, and it just starts like walking in circles, or just walks straight at no particular direction. It has no sense of awareness. It has no sense of what it's even doing. It has no sense of a mission. It's just doing stuff. It basically becomes an NPC. An NPC is a non-player character. That is a character that is not run by a player. And you notice it just goes on repeat. It says the same things over and over and over and over and over again. You walk into the town and it says, "Greetings, traveler. Greetings, traveler. Greetings, traveler." And it does the same thing over and over again. This is because it is basically robotic. It's been programmed to say certain things. So have you. You've been programmed to say certain things over and over and over and over again. To do certain things over and over and over and over and over again. You've become conditioned. And this is why if you were to remove yourself, your character would not achieve anything. It wouldn't do anything that was even worthwhile. It may achieve some distance. You may even kill a spider or two. Maybe it's out of reflex. In some of the games, if you get attacked, your character will automatically start attacking that thing back. So you might be okay to survive, get by, but you're not really going to proceed and thrive. And then we'll take it back, you in the driver's seat. You in the driver's seat is more your soul. You could call it higher self, you could call it your consciousness, you could call it your awareness. It's the thing that separates us from robots and, let's say sentient beings. It's having a consciousness. It's like there is something, we're actually aware that we're aware. For example, if you're sitting at this computer, and you're playing the game, you're aware that you're aware of the game. You will sink yourself in to that character though. After a while, what happens is you kind of like slip it on as a skin, and it's been 12 hours and you haven't stepped away from the game. You got so immersed within it that you forgot that you're actually playing a game because it just became life. And now with this soul, when you can become aware of it, you can also become aware of the things and traits that you want to change. Things that don't serve you anymore. Things such as your skill set, your ability to feel emotion, emotional intelligence. Now, this one is probably one of the most lacking in humanity. We've got plenty of this intelligence. Let's say, I'll rephrase that. We've got a lot of information. We're good at retaining information. We're kind of like just like this vessel to hold information. And honestly, these days you really don't need to have all of these individual facts. It was something that came up in Think and Grow Rich. It was about, what's the word? It's like when you gather information, organized knowledge. Organized knowledge is valuable. That is when it's organized and used for a purpose. If you learn a bunch about science and you go to apply it and speak about it, and you're able to connect dots between certain things, instead of I don't mean about parroting stuff. If you're just parroting information and this quote and this quote and this quote and reading this from the textbook, it's like, that's not really helpful most of the time. That's what schooling's for. And I don't know about you, but schooling was a bit of it was a box. It felt like a big box that we get put into to make us good workers, make us abide by the rules, make us surrender to authority. We outsource our authority, we get graded on absolute bullshit, like stuff that doesn't make any sense in the real world, only for certain professions. And even still, it's like, I mean, you could take a look at a doctor and say, well, yes, doctor requiring, say, a really very, very, very high grade. It requires a high level of retention and a certain skill set. That is to be a doctor in the traditional Western sense. It's different in all other cultures. And what do doctors do? They come out of their 10-year-long degree, and most of them end up being like drug dealers, really. So they've spent all of this time to become a drug dealer. It's not really an effective use of time. Now, doesn't speak for all of them, because there's a lot of good doctors out there. I haven't met many of them. Some of the best doctors that I've met have been people that are passionate innately about actually healing the body. People that find root causes for things. People that don't just look for fucking pain medication, that actually look for the stuff beneath the surface. And so this is why there is a constant curiosity that comes from playing this game. If you're in the soul space, if you're actually acknowledging the fact that you are running your character, have you ever been curious as to why you keep running the same loops? Because if you're aware of the character, why are you doing nonsense? Like, are you working towards a goal? Do you have something that you're actually here for? Because otherwise the game becomes just monotonous, and it becomes rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Grind, level up, get better gear. Grind, level up, get better gear. And it's like, yes, that's the game. And why are you doing the game? Why are you playing this game? Are you playing it to achieve happiness and joy? Do you think it's going to fulfill you? Sure, it's fun temporarily. Is it actually going to provide the things that you really want? That fulfillment, that deep sense of safety and exuberance for life. If you think you're going to get that from grinding and working your ass off and working on your mindset. You're likely going to end up pretty fucking disappointed. You're going to be on a constant train to find the thing. You're like, cool, my mission is to grind and hustle and make as much money as I can. All right, I need a good mindset for that. All right, cool. Get the mindset, do the mindset coaching, do all this stuff. And like, cool, got my mindset, my mind's on purpose. Great. Then, well, we need to biohack, right? Because we need all of the energy to do all of the things. So we need all of the mushrooms, all of the things like I don't even know half the stuff. I haven't even delved into that biohacking space. Do the ice baths, do all these things. Yes, they're great. I will not discredit the mindset or the biohacking. It is not your answer to fulfill your needs. These are kind of bonuses on top. And so you've created your mission from your head, what you think that you should do, based out of your fears of maybe not having enough money. And then you create a mindset that identifies with that. Well, I'm the one that goes after my dreams and my goals. You know, I work and I hustle. For what? Then you develop the capacity in your body and you're like, cool, I'm just going to go really hard at this. And what happens? You fucking burn out. Why do you burn out? It happens constantly. You either burn out or you become cold and numb. You become disconnected from the people around you, the people that love you, and you turn yourself off. Some may even call you heartless. Because there's that missing component there, which is some heart, a sense of compassion, the ability to communicate, have emotional capacity. And then you have your soul, which is running this whole thing. So your soul could simply choose to do stuff just for the sake of doing it. Or it could do it from this heart space, which is also very curious. That curious space is never going to run out of things to have gratitude for. This is the whole thing. The happiness is in the present. The contentment is feeling good in the present. The joy, the gratitude, the acceptance, the appreciation. It's all in the present moment. It's not in the future. I'll do this when. I'll be happy when. I'll be satisfied when. When never arrives. And this is why all my work has become around returning people back to themselves so that they can live a more nourishing, fulfilling life that feels good. And that you can express from that place. You can speak and use your voice to carry that. You can connect to the things around you. That you can inspire the people who are closest to you, or inspire the world. Make a difference. And so, this has felt like the words that were wanting to come out for so long, for myself. Because when I speak to this camera, I also speak to myself. I give myself a pep talk. The idea is that I'm listening to myself. And it starts by listening to yourself. What is it that you want? Not what this wants, because this is the character you. No, what does this want? The heart and the soul. The one that's driving the character. What does it want? What is it asking you to do? And so if you're pondering a new business endeavor, if you're pondering a new thing, a new YouTube channel, if you're pondering a new direction in life, something that's going to change your life, the answer is not in here. It never is. This has information. This has the power to calculate. This has the power to retain maps and meanings and words and language. It's all in here. Whatever your primary language is, if it's English, if it's some people from Romania on here. And so when you're looking at this voice, this is the only one that's going to matter because it's telling you the truth. This one's not. This one will back up the truth. This one will support you on that truth. It also may go against you. It may fight against you. It may convince you that that truth is wrong. It may convince you that this truth is misguided, maybe evil. Maybe it will tell you that you're not worthy of this, which is in essence saying that you're not worthy of feeling your own heart. You're not worthy of being yourself. And whilst it's telling you this, I'll say this objectively, it's fucking wrong. Yet until you believe it, it's not going to matter. It's not going to make a difference. Until you realize it yourself. Until you really claim it and say, hey, this voice matters. And when you realize that voice matters, then you can speak to it and acknowledge its existence and speak to it. Ask it questions. There will be a point in your life that you'll note when you used to make decisions from that space. Maybe you've made decisions from that space recently. Maybe you haven't recognized it as a heart choice, or that your soul is pulling you in a certain direction. The recognition of that can help you understand the signature of what it really means. Because just because it has not made itself strongly obvious to you and like is screaming out at you, doesn't mean it's not speaking. It takes for you to listen to it, for you to be able to express from that place and take action from that place. Otherwise, the action is fruitless. There's no fruit at the end. Because the seed that is planted won't ever germinate. It won't become a tree. It can't. Because it's dead. It's cold. It's not nourished. And so your voice, when you express that, it's going to express how connected you are to this space. And if you're disconnected from this, this is the whole drill sergeant thing. You could be a drill sergeant. You could be worried about everything. If you're riddled with anxiety, it means that this is running the show. It means that your nervous system is not being listened to. Maybe you drink 5 coffees a day. Not going to help you. Yet you keep recreating that same thing over and over and over again because that's all you know. And that's a deeper discussion around how you view love. Because that character, its map of love is being fried, is having a fried nervous system. And so you think that's normal. You're like, yeah, that's normal. It's what I do. You justify it. You create more stories to back up the stories that are in there, because what's actually beneath it is a terrible, terrible, sad, unheard part of yourself that hasn't been felt. And when those things in you have been felt, you've grieved those things. You've allowed them to move through your body. You've cried, you've screamed, yelled, shaken your body, breathed. It's going to stay there. So if you want to move it, yeah, there's lots of stuff that you can do around that. And it's a beautiful journey. So, hope you guys have enjoyed that. We've got a few more minutes. I am day 2 into a 6-day self-development container, like an event that I'm attending, and it's fucking phenomenal. It's you'll notice a difference if you look at me today versus me 2 days ago. Yeah, it's like significant. You'll notice the difference in the way that I show up. It just, this process that we go through, it's completely removing all of the friction. And it's rather akin to it's kind of like a plant medicine journey. If you've ever experienced like a full, like ayahuasca journey, for example, it's kind of like that without visuals. It's very much you're in the room. However, the experience is like the whole journey, and the inner world and the challenges that are faced over the course of several hours are very, very similar. And by the end of these things, like, everyone's just got big smiles on their faces. Everyone's cried. Everyone has wept and sobbed and screamed and done all of this stuff. Once that stuff gets released, we shed layers, more and more layers. And I'm going to run through this process 2 more times over the next week. And yeah, again, me next week is going to be even more developed. You're going to see more of me, more of who I am. Because it's more difficult to... You know how much energy it takes for you to hold that shitty identity that you have, the one that you don't like, the one that tells you that you suck, the one that puts you down, and all of that. It's a lot of weight to carry around. And sadly, most people won't confront any of it. They'll live their lives carrying this entire weight around, and they'll blame the world for it. And it's not how I choose to live life. Life is to be enjoyed. Life is to play the game with awareness. So, with that, I'm out. My name is Mitch. Thank you for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed this journey. And 4, 3, 2, 1 says my timer. All right, I'm out. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 24. Peace out, guys. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in.